Asheville, North Carolina is known for its bohemian lifestyle, for its arts community, and once a year they have the biggest free festival in the Southeast. It's called Bele Chere, which comes from the Scottish Beautiful Life, and we're at the Arts Park at the Bele Chere Festival here in Asheville, North Carolina, looking for art because, believe me, nobody knows more about art than me. That would be sarcasm, because I don't know anything about art. So I'm going to maybe look at it from a beginner's eyes, from new eyes, and try to figure out, what's the deal here at the Arts Park at Bele Chere. So far, we've seen some pretty exotic stuff and some pretty, regular type of stuff. Photographs of the Smoky Mountains seem to be selling well. Some stuff made out of junk that, now is art. We buy junk and sell art, I think, is their motto. And also just some place that looks like, you're supposed to sit down, but that turns out the chair and the table, don't sit on it, it's art. Everything can be artistic here at Bele Chere. We're going to explore it on Smoky Mountain Morning. I remember an old comic that I saw in the New Yorker or somewhere like that where the sign said, "We buy junk and sell antiques." And I'm thinking here, you buy junk and sell art. This is Jimmy and Marlene Hopkins from Woodstock, Georgia. And you're here selling some pretty amazing art. What is this stuff made out of? Specifically the flying pig over my shoulder.
Well, we take a old Freon can and it's been used. Normally, this went into a landfill after they were finished with it, and we take it, cut the handles off, and then turn it into a pig body.
Well, what makes you look at, whether it be the Freon can or just whatever else we're looking at here, and think, well, that could be a pig, that could be a moose, that could be a Venus flytrap over there?
We've built our whole business around that. We use found objects. We go out and look for different things, and we look in the shapes of things. We want things that people will recognize. We want them to say, that's an axe head, but it's also a buzzard head now. Or, that used to be a fire extinguisher, and now it's an airplane body. So, and that's what we do. We try to find things that people can identify with, and then use them in our artwork and turn them into the different animals and things.
Now, I'm thinking this whole hobby has got to be some sort of excuse that you came up with for not getting Marlene mad at you for having junk around the yard.
No way. I'm in it as much as he is.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
She works at this probably harder than I do most of the time.
All right, so Marlene, what's something that you found when you're out and about in your travels that got turned into a work of art?
Well, turn those Freon canisters into flowers. I do the plasma cutting part of the business, which is the cut it apart, and then he puts it together.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so we'll take that very pig body that you were talking about, and the flower right above it used to be a Freon can too. So we'll cut that apart and turn it into a flower.
Tell me about the shovel. I guess what would you call that? Just a piece of a shovel or a spade head, or what is that?
The shovel bird feeders over there, we call them our kicking chickens, and so we use them as bird feeders. We sell them to people as bird feeders, and so we take a shovel, we turn it up so it'll hold seed or potted plant or anything like that, and then we come up with anything we can that looks like a bird head or whatever and put on it, and then anything else we can find for the hair or the comb of the bird. So. And
you travel all over the Southeast. Your website is steelmenagerie.com, which makes sense.
Yes, sir, that's correct. I had to read the Glass Menagerie in college, and so that's where that name came from. So
that's what I was thinking, a little Tennessee Williams reference right there. Are you a fan of that kind of stuff as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Old country girl.
Well, beautiful. Thanks a lot, Jimmy, Marlene Hopkins from steelmenagerie.com. Nice work. Lovely stuff. All right.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it very much.
They say white men can't jump. They say white guys are just not hip. They say, Frank, you're such a white guy. I'm going to prove to you today, right here, that white guys can have rhythm, that white guys can sing, they can perform. Well, maybe not dance, but they can do stuff. Look at this. This guy's about as white as you can get. He's got a bird on his guitar. He's got a bird on his shoulder. And he's also very statuesque. See, I've seen these people at street festivals where they paint themselves gold or silver or whatever, and it always looks so hot. This guy's smart. He's all white. That reflects the heat back, so he's obviously the coolest of all the street performers here. And I guess he takes money. You can tell his hands have been in there because I can see his fingerprints right on the money basket. So that's pretty cool. Rock on, my brother. Well, the good news is that the artwork here, the photography here at the Redbird photo booth is beautiful. The bad news is that I've taken a card home to my wife because she's the spendy one. We're here with Mike Carley, who is, I guess, the photographer, right? You took all these pictures?
Yes.
What great work you do.
Well, thank you. It's actually God does the good work. I just press the button.
All right, now tell me, some of these pictures are reminiscent to me. They remind me of places in and around the Smoky Mountains. Where do you take your pictures?
Actually, I go all over the Southeast. Wherever I do a show, I spend another couple of days and I take pictures. Most of them come from locals saying, "Have you been here?" And I write it down. But a lot of them are in the Smokies. Several of them right back behind us are.
Now, tell me where in the Smokies you like to go. What are some of your favorite parts? I mean, obviously, you're going to the quiet side. You're going into the park. Where else do you go in the Smokies?
I just walk. I go in and I find a place to pull over, and I get on a trail and I walk. Half the time I don't even know what state I'm in.
Neither do we. Now, tell me about the show you have in Townsend, Tennessee, coming up not too long from now.
There's a show. I don't know too much about it because this is my first time doing it. It's in September, and it's called a Smoky Mountain Harvest Festival or something like that. It's been around a while.
Oh, this is a massive festival. Yes, this is going to be a gigantic one. Oh, well, you're welcome. We'll be looking for you then.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's right up my alley.
All right. Well, beautiful. These are great pictures, and we appreciate your time. This is just some of the artwork we've seen today. Redbirdphoto.com, right?
Correct.
All right. And what is it you need more than us stopping by? Somebody with a Visa card?
Exactly, and somebody with a Visa card and not afraid to use it.
Well, that's my wife. What kind of long-distance plan do you got?
Just as far as travel, every weekend we're going somewhere new.
No, I meant on the phone. I meant, do you get unlimited long distance, or what do you get? Is that cellular? What is that?
This is more telepathic. It's at this point, when I picked up the piece, it actually was working, and that's kind of what happens when it gets in my hands. Just break it apart, becomes what you want it to be. So, I don't know. It's, it's still, you can act like you're talking to somebody.
Can I?
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to pretend, because I remember one of my favorite things was at the old Addams Family and Munsters. They had the candlestick phones. Hello, or I could pretend I'm on Mayberry, RFD. I could be, hello, Sarah? Anyone? Well, Floyd the Barber's talking to me. I'm getting a little freaked out. We're here with H.C. Warner, and that's the art we're seeing here. Your website, hcwarner.com, has got all sorts of cool stuff. I mean, it's just really got a pop culture pow to it, a flair to it. Can you, describe your artistic vision without sounding too artsy-fartsy to me?
I guess I've had a lot of practice trying to come up with terms with what actually we do. We get coined a lot for being like quote-unquote lowbrow, but I consider a lot of the background as sort of Pee-wee's Playhouse meets the Munsters, kind of folk contemporary, lots of parts and pieces, that make up childhood, but also, we're all kids at heart anyway, so.
Well, if you're lowbrow, I'm lower-brow, because this is awesome. I'm really enjoying the King Kong on top of the buildings. You had one piece that spoke to me as a radio guy where you cut up an old antique radio, which I guess hurts me a little bit, but I'm assuming it didn't work anymore, right?
No, it was just on the side of the road, and it's like you're riding by, and it's like you slam on the brakes, it's like you can't help yourself. It's a beautiful item, and if someone is going to throw it away, by God, it's going to be part of this art or whatever. I mean, it just makes itself. Once you find the magic implement, it just it's almost like cruise control. I don't even think about it anymore. So.
Who are some of the recurring characters in your artwork? I see there's the one-toothed whale. I saw maybe some of the like the flying monkeys from Wizard of Oz. I'm reminiscent of.
Well, the one-toothed whale came from like a narwhal specialist who basically came in and told me all about her philosophy on this narwhal whale, and I wasn't exactly sure what she was talking about. So the sketch came out. She said that is not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, they have like a big, long, like a unicorn thing is what they're supposed to have.
It's really a horn, so it's like a misplay of words. But, I just felt like I would have some fun with it. I made her one, and then, a friend saw it, and they asked for one. So it just kind of like caught on that way.
And then the monkey stuff or the bumblebee-looking stuff, what would you describe that as?
The monkey started as a pacifier for kids when they came into the gallery. We'd give them a coloring book so they would sit back and, do a bit of, time on their own so the parents could come in and enjoy the art, have a beer, relax, whatever they needed to do to kind of put them in the zone. So that just basically built into animation, which built into sculpture, which built into a T-shirt line, and no real. I mean, I had no control over that for the most part. It just kind of developed. But
Well,
we had fun with it.
you heard it straight from H.C. Warner himself. Art goes better with beer.
Absolutely. That's why we're here.